difficult time. So there are some things that we put together. So we would like you to especially take a look at that. So well, we are implementing the communities that care in Chile since 2014. We have been working in 4 communities inside the capital area of Chile. We have a lot of different communities, smaller ones and bigger ones. Especially this year, what we found that has been challenging is implementing the job survey. We are trying to do it in a new way, like in a digital way. We have been taking the survey on paper all the time. We have data from 2014, 16, and 18. 2020 we had COVID, so we struggled with that, and we were not able to react as quickly as we should and take the survey. But hopefully this year we're going to have some data again, and we're trying to take it on the computers and in a more modern way, you know, in order to have the data sooner than the other years. So it has been really challenging because we have a lot of difficulties in schools. Some of them have been robbed, for example, and they don't have computers. So we have been trying to solve that problem, or some of them, they don't have enough room or space for the kids to take the survey. But we wanted to solve that and try to give it a try, you know. So we're gonna see how it works, and we'll let you know, finger crossed. And other things that we have been working on is about the definitions that we have. I think that we have been talking a lot with some of you about terms like community in Chile, and I think in some other countries. When you talk about community, people think actually in people who live in places, and neighbors, you know, the ones that habitates the zone, and they don't think it as a whole, as everyone that is part of the process in the communities that care. So it has been kind of rough for us, because when we say communities that care, everyone thinks that it's just the neighborhoods and the neighbors that should be taking care of the kids, you know, and not everyone that is involved. So we're trying to figure out a way to explain it in a better way and make sure that everyone understands that it's not just us, it's the major, it's the firefighters, it's the school principal, it's the lady that has a small enterprise or entrepreneurs in the community. So it's everyone is involved. And also we have been trying to enhance the importance of the roles of the city halls, the municipalities as the backbone agencies. We have been dealing with CTC. It's kind of another resource in the communities, you know, and we don't want to be that. We want to be like the big umbrella under the one that we put all the things and the efforts of prevention. So it has been a hard work to the city halls, the municipalities, the majors to come aboard and commit with the process. Luckily, we have been talking with one major that is really involved, and he wants to bring the CTC into the city with the responsibility and with the commitment that we need. And we're really proud because one of the majors of our community actually was a member of the community board. So it's a big step. It has been really, really helpful for us because he really gets what we have to do in there. So I think that is the main challenge. And what things are we proud of? We did a characterization of implementation models, and we have a lot of help of a lot of people that actually is here from Australia, Malmo, people from Colorado, and I think it was also Germany. And we talk with you guys, and you share a lot of experience with us, and we come to some of the results that I already told you, like the community definitions and how we get to make sure that everyone understands how it works and how is the prevention effort should be from everyone. And also we learned that CTC is not the same in every place, you know. It's like we try to do it like the US was telling us to do it, or some experiences that you have, and we realize that every country has its own issues, its own cultural things to deal with. So we are trying just to get a lot of experience from everyone that can help us. So we are trying to reach a point in which we can take CTC to the next level to make it more suitable for us, and that way we can expand the effort in hopefully among the country. But it has been really hard. And we work on a bank of strategies with evidence levels. So we had a lot of help from Nicole and from some of the strategies that you guys put together in a huge and amazing document in here in the US. Because we don't have a lot of programs with evidence in Chile. We have very few actually. So we figured and we thought that we need to have something for communities, and not just from communities that implement CTC, but from all the people that is involved in the process and they want to do something for the kids. So we put together a bank of strategies, and it's a document that is really, really gorgeous. I'm really proud of that, I have to say. And really, 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 really thank you for Nicole and Kevin and everyone that helped us to put that together. Because communities has been really open to receive that and trying to implement some of the strategies. It doesn't take much, you know. It's just like little efforts, little actions that you have to put on motion, and it works. So it's amazing. And we are implementing some programs with evidence in Chile. We have been struggling with that because we don't have a lot, but we are implementing some programs like Triple P in some of the communities. And we did a GBG, Guiding Good Choices, pilot, a small pilot last year, so we're going to be talking about that on Friday. I think that's pretty much. I don't know if you want to add something.
And I think that one thing that's interesting to highlight is that when you started in 2015, there were probably no evidence-based programs at all, zero. But the foundation has been, adapting and testing, doing trials of at least 3 or 4 that I know of, and kind of moving with politicians in the country so that other programs also. So I think now I would say there's probably closer to 10.
Yeah, that's true.
In just less than 10 years. So that's big progress.
Yeah, I know. Nicole, what Nicole said was, well, you steal my words. But it's not a problem. Well, in a very summary way, we need to develop all the ecosystem that communities that care needs, and that involves an effort in press in order to communicate to the country the relevance of prevention. Also, the need to develop evidence-based programs. We're in this moment with PMTO, Familias Unidas, ICPS, and communities that care.
And
Guiding Good Choices.
Yes, and that effort. The problem is that communities not always have the money to finance even our own effort. Yeah, and that's a main issue, right? And also we are developing this moment the bank of strategies and a bank of programs in order to have also a place in where communities can find their evidence-based programs. Well, I think that we need also another 10 years in order to have something. The 10% of blueprints, but but this is the way to develop the ecosystem that communities that here needs. We are going to present today a poster of Familias Unidas and also a symposium at the word PMTO on Wednesday.
On table.
So this is always an issue in countries where they don't have the bank of evidence-based programs. Do you enter CTC into that country knowing that? And on the other hand, that pushes those countries to develop that list of evidence. I mean, I've seen this over and over again where they're not really ready to have CTC because they don't have the programs to adopt, but CTC pushes the countries to begin moving toward a more science-based approach to prevention. So one's waiting, what's the dog wagging the tail analogy, you know.
Tail wagging the dog.
Yeah, tail wagging the dog. But it's really interesting how far you all have come. It's really impressive to see how far you've been able to move.
And if we have a recommendation, we can say that perhaps it's good to start with strategies and with the simplest programs that you can find. Yeah.
So I think we ought to just recognize Rick Brown, because Rick Brown and I used to argue a lot about this question. A lot about this question. And Rick said, look, this will lead to evidence-based programs in communities. And I said, yeah, but it's a false promise if they're not there, you know, and you're trying to choose one. So I want to thank Rick Brown for that. And I just want to note that you mentioned Triple P, GTC, PMTO, and Familias Unidas. So those are all family-focused programs.
Oh, well, you can find also ICPS. We are implementing ICPS, the Intercognitive Problem Solution, the miniature program. And also there was some adaptation of another school-based programs. But you are seeing right, in Chile we have more family-based programs than school-based programs.
And is that because it's harder to get things into the schools?
Yeah, I think so. I think schools are in this moment I know Marcelo's right with me, but in schools we have very, very strong political conflicts. In families is not as hard as that. The role of public education in Chile is having a lot of discussion and around the political level. So go inside the schools is very hard. Go inside the families is not as hard.
Not so hard.
Yeah, you agree with me?
You are starting this year also with the middle school strategies that Kevin and colleagues developed. So there are some.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to push us
Yeah,
along.
of course.